Are you missing great candidates with a low compensation offer? This is Lori Culler with AgHires, here to talk about kind of why a strategy on a low compensation offer can hurt you. For example, if a candidate's looking for $80,000 and the client knows it and the market's there and they come in at $65,000, and I'm not talking about a client that can't afford or doesn't have the budget for the $80,000, but that they're strategically coming in with a low offer. So let's dissect the kind of two main reasons that someone does that and why that's not a great approach and what to do about it. The first kind of tactic is a kind of prove it to me tactic. What I mean by prove it to me is that the employer is looking to have the candidate come in at a lower compensation range, and they're willing to increase their compensation range once they've been there, let's say for 6 months to a year. They're willing to pay them more, but they want to see kind of their work and their effort before they're going to increase that pay. The reason that this is a challenge is that top candidates know kind of where they're at in the market and know kind of what other employers are willing to pay. And a really strong candidate knows that about the market, and they're really just not going to be willing to settle. I completely understand on the employer side the kind of prove it to me model. I get it. I'm an owner. In theory, I think it's great, but in this tight candidate market, you're really going to lose out on the good candidates. And then you're going to end up selling for candidates that are willing to come in at a lower range, and they're probably not as strong as the other candidates. So you're really kind of settling for a candidate that's not as strong and then hoping they can get there when you probably could have just got the all-star at the pay that you're willing to pay in 6 months to a year from now. The other reason that someone comes in kind of with a low offer is really in anticipation of a counter offer. So they're coming in low thinking, okay, the candidate can counter if they want more. Again, in theory, sounds like an okay idea, but actually we see all the time the best candidates walk away and they won't counter. They will simply just not take the job and kind of move on. And if they do counter and you are significantly under kind of where they were talking about it kind of being in terms of compensation, now the relationship between the future employee and employer has started off kind of on a bad foot. And so it already sets up expectations that this is how it's going to kind of go in terms of communication and approach together. A better way to handle an offer is really to understand a lot about what that candidate can bring to the table, a lot about their experience, and then what is the going rate in the market, what were they looking for, if they disclose, potentially voluntarily shared where they were at, you would take that into consideration and know that you have to go higher. But you want to really kind of take all that into consideration and offer, I won't say a best and final, that is my personal approach often, but offering a best and close to final and really kind of get a strong offer package on your initial offer. And then also making sure to really kind of include all the full details of the total compensation package. Is there health insurance? Is there 401k? Is there a match? Is there vacation or a truck? And think about that. Last little pro tip, always give that offer verbally over the phone. Let them know you're excited to join the organization. Walk them through the package, and then also follow that up with in writing in an email as well. For more tips on offers, interviewing, and everything in between, like and follow AgHires.